on the base TID, TID 1 is going to close, is TID 3 going to be in a position that it's not going to be?
This is the last major contemplated expenditure currently for TID 3. Everything else is based off of increment and revenue bonds under additional increment generated from the Sherman project. So one more year of $550,000, $600,000 of increment in 2019 will clear a slate on any.
But there's debt service of almost 400, so in the net increment.
Yeah, I mean, I think in 2019 it should show positive at year end for certain.
This is really good.
I kind of understand what you just said. So the only thing that's throwing me off is, isn't this a pay-as-you-go, Jeff?
For the Sherman components with that,
Just that component?
yeah.
I mean, because usually you bond, and then the tax increment pays the bond off. So I'm a little confused. I know it's an accounting method here that you're explaining, but where are the funds coming from? Because we didn't bond. And are
Well,
we taking them from TIF 1?
We did bond in 2015, and that was for the developer subsidy and it looks like just the developer subsidy for the HRA project, which is going to be, the last disbursement of that will be this year. Their 2-year time frame on that subsidy is expiring. And then, again, any future increment will go towards debt service, and then the Sherman project will be for a pay-go year after, and then we've got the $375,000 of bluff improvements that's going to kind of come out of the wash there
I mean,
between those two numbers.
okay, let me rephrase. If we didn't, we only bonded for the developer's subsidy going to HRA, correct?
That's what it looks like from the numbers. I'd have to consult the bond issue
That
itself.
makes sense, because they weren't a pay-go, they were a regular.
Yeah.
So that's okay, that's fine, whatever we did. But now, if that is the case, where is the 375,000 coming from? Where are the actual funds?
The difference between the increment and the debt service on the original bond.
And there's a positive increment right now?
Well, if you were to trace back TID 3 historically, that was a very slow starting TID. There was a number of project costs that drove the baseline cash number into a negative. And we've been moving out of that in the last 4 to 5 years here as we start getting some of these construction projects underway. So we're recovering from that negative, and then also starting to have the debt service for the HRA bonds, plus I think there was another bond issue in 2008 or 10 related to this that we've been paying all along without any significant construction projects going on
Oh, so there's bond proceeds somewhere.
from prior years, yeah.
Okay, so there's money somewhere. There's like a positive, whether it be from increment over debt service or whether it be from other proceeds that we didn't spend.
No, I'm not sure that that would be accurate to, from a technical sense, we'll get 70% of our $550,000 before the end of the year, the 12/31 tax element. That is enough to cover, I suspect, or very close, to any cash flow deficit that may be at the end of 2017. Now then you roll into 2018, you get new increment, 2019, additional increment, but at that point, the Sherman project starts generating increment,
So you
which
have-
that is part of the pay-go.
I understand. Thank you.
Okay.
I know you're trying.
Okay, I'm
I
trying.
I just want to know if we're going to have to take the money temporarily from a different fund, with another TIF, or do we have proceeds sitting, you know, or increment coming? Is there going to be money to execute this project in 2018, either from bond proceeds that we've already borrowed, or from increment that exceeds, that's coming in that exceeds, or will we be temporarily shifting money from a different account?
I think we'll be very close to that point, and again, it's the interim, until the following year's in December when that's all come back. So there may be a period of time in 2018 where TID will hold a negative cash value, but I don't expect that to be substantial, and again, the trends are going to recover a historical accumulation of costs before any of these developments got in.
Half the bluff is a state stewardship grant.
Right.
It's paying half the $383,000. The other thing historically, when this TIF was started and it got the construction, there was a slow start. With the Capital Drive improvements, it funded, this TID 3 funded the portion of Capital Drive in front of the development, and also some of the infrastructure work that was put in to support the later development. So there's an investment at the front end in the infrastructure work and Capital Drive, which was a major benefit to the overall community. Otherwise, that would have been paid out of levy or debt, other debt. So we were able, and also we're getting the trail work out of the TID 3, which if it wasn't a TID, we may not have had the match. So it's supporting that major park improvement in the community out of the TID 3 increment that's coming in.
And if I could also add, I mean, obviously with this discussion, we will highlight that in the financial reports at year end and make sure that's identified as a topic of observation.
Two questions. With respect to the construction of the bluff improvements and the trail, does the 300 that we're carrying forward, does that reflect the change in design in the most recent approved plan? Because originally there was more contemplated.
No, that's with the current bid that's been awarded.
Okay, all right. Secondly, back when we got our, I think this is the most recent TID financials from Sikich, there was notes in there for TID 3 for Wilson Drive improvements, facade improvements, and signage and entrance monumentation. Is that still a contemplated use going forward? Because that hadn't in the supporting documents in the schedule. It hadn't. It still carries $1 million for Wilson and 75 for facade for.
Meaning the original project plan?
Yeah.
That hasn't been reflected in this budget, no.
But it's carried forward in the TID report just because that was.
Well, it's a project plan. That doesn't.
Project plan.
Yeah.
So it's a, because the contract is for 289. There seemed like there was a discrepancy from the amount of the award from the state, which was 200 and.
Well, you were on the right page before if you were on. So it's, yeah, alternate 2 and the base bid.
Right, but there was money left in the grant for signage that we had hoped the balance of the grant would be available for additional signage.
And
Is that in here?
I will certainly make sure that's revisited with whoever's coordinating that project next year.
Okay.
And we sort of want to consider taking advantage of the grant,
Okay.
and we'll bring any additional things that are available at that to the board to consider.
Okay. All right. Any more tips there?
Oh, 2 more. Page 180, TID 4. Again, That activity is a single project TID. It's, we do have a loan as part of the developers' incentives outstanding. That's where the interest from loans advances comes from. You know, there's, again, my time, audit fees, and a couple of incidentals of, you know, if the CDA wants to recommend some sort of communications for that district, or 1,000 and 2,000, and it's just kind of carried forward on provisional. So,
Although not a significant dollar amount here, but I think it's reflected in probably every department and every TID, is the health insurance allocations. Am I correct in assuming that the final budget will reflect, all of these will be updated with the information and the new costs that we got based on our action
I
last week?
think it's an $8 difference. But yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
$8 here, but rolled all together.
Oh, yeah.
it's something.
Absolutely.
All right.
And then TID 5, again, another single project TID. There are some contemplations of some studies and plans that still relate to this project in 2018. So staff has put a placeholder of $20,000 in. Revolves around traffic flow within the parking structure and some of the impacts it may have on Oakland Avenue. There's also provisions within the TID 5 project plan to engage in street improvements to address some of those issues. To date, there's been nothing definitive initiated along those lines, so staff is not budgeted for them, but should the board approve those types of activities, they would fall into the TID 5 budget. Again, the only time in TID 5 is my time, and then the audit-related fees.
I'm sorry, I missed it in TID 4, but there's business recruitment and developer recruitment in
Communications, I think, and then business recruitment.
no, there's business, yeah, just business recruitment 2,000, communications 1,000. Are we doing business recruitment in that TID?
Well, that goes through the CDA, I would think, as an initial, again, it's a provisional placeholder amount to facilitate that should the CDA engage in something like that, that would share a broader effort in two parts of the TIDs.
That's the log grant stuff.
Yeah.
Four.
Light horse, right?
Four is light horse,
Yeah.
but Walgreens, 5 is,
Yeah, the only business recruitment I can see would be that little, you know, 10 by 10 window across the middle center.
Yes.
There could be.
well, again, project plans allow for
Yeah.
a certain range
Yeah.
within that boundary.
It's
It's a placeholder.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there's nothing already defined, because of the amount, it is just a placeholder.
Okay, and then if for any reason, staff and the board or the CDA, I don't know the right entities at this moment, but decide on a larger scope for the Oakland Avenue, like meeting the boundaries for that parking study or that traffic analysis, we can still, if we need 35,000 for that, do we have to do anything today, or can we still make that
So we have
amendment?
to come through the CBA and the board, we have to.
Well, the board would approve it, but from the budget, again, the TID project plan is the highest level document. And then obviously, you know,
But you can switch, you administratively can switch line items in a TID budget. So
yeah,
if it's
there's, yeah, but I mean, from the budget presentation in front of you, yeah, there's, you know, we can do what we need to in conjunction with the project plan as needs are and projects are approved.
okay, so it's not limited to what we're adopting tonight.
Correct. That would not be my interpretation.
What's the two?
Question which is, in December of 2016, we approved an amendment to the development agreement for Metro Market project. And as part of that, although at the time we were told that the sale price would be disclosed, it was not. And we were subsequently told by our former village manager that that sale price would be made public in December of this year. So I'm just curious, I know Larry will be gone, but
That's in my Outlook calendar, though.
You have it. Okay.
Absolutely.
You're on it.
I am on it.
Thank you.
All right. Done with TID 5, moving on to
All right.
staff updates and wrap-up.
Well, I did do a brief personal cover letter for the wrap-up. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for their time, participation going through this process here. I've got it on the screen, but I've numbered the lines, you've got it in front of you. I'm going to use it to keep track of changes. Again, we start out with line 1, which is our proposed budget baseline. Lines 2 through